I am here with Coach Dave Miller, the head coach of the Fairmont Firebirds. As we enter week two, Coach, we're going to look at a little bit from week one and then look forward a bit. Defensively, what was your evaluation on the game led by the two forced turnovers that resulted in 14 points? Let's start with a Daniel Seaton fumble return for touchdown. What happened on that play?
Well, it kind of a mixed bag defensively, to be honest. I think we came out of the gates really strong and needed to be. Matthew Lamberth is the one that really caused, I think, both fumbles. And then also really all three of our turnovers. He deflected the pitch on the option. Daniel, hustling, where he was, scooped and scored, and our defense, kind of led him the way in there. And what a huge start. When you look at the end of the game, where we were, just how big those plays were, at the beginning to get those was absolutely huge. The next fumble, Matthew again came down and blew up the mesh, and ball's on the ground. And I think that one Logan Wilkins got. And then the last, or the interception, I think before that, in between, he had a good pass rush, hurried the throw, and then Stevie ended up making the interception. So just good team defense and an individual, some individuals, including Matthew Lambert, that are making some big plays there. So, but like I said, kind of a mixed bag. We had a couple drives there at the end of the second quarter and at the end of the game that, we didn't look very good. So those are things that we can focus on improving on. But, definitely to get us started off like that was huge.
How much of a factor was the rain in those fumbles?
Well, it was raining. So beyond that, I don't know. I'm sure I know Coach Domsites well enough that he's not going to, use as an excuse. And really, like I said, Matthew did a good job batting the ball on the fumble, recovered the first one, and then blew up the mesh. And then he got to hurry on the quarterback. So I don't know what any of those have to do with rain. So I don't know. They're high school kids, so who knows? But
how about the Doty interception in the second quarter?
Yeah, that was big too. It's like we get great field position now. We turned around and gave it right back to them. With 3 plays later, we put it on the ground too. So, it kind of started last year that way too. We had turnovers, and fortunately, we didn't have as many. I thought we did a fairly efficient job on offense other than our first couple series, but that was a big one too. Field position wise, and just keeping them on the sideline is really the way our MO has to be here for the rest of the year and forever. But that was big.
One potential concern in this game was lack of the pass rush and no sacks. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, their offensive line's really good. If you looked at them, we had 2 good scrimmages, number one. I think I said that. Middletown, blew out their first opponent, and we thought their offensive line was dramatically improved. We struggled there with that. Lebanon just beat Springboro, by 2 scores and had a huge offensive line. So it was something we focused on. But we've had 3 really good offensive lines here 3 weeks in a row. So I think that's less maybe what we're not doing, and more that the fact that we're playing against some quality people here. So. We got to get better at it, though. Obviously, we need to put some pressure on the quarterback to help out the back end. But like I mentioned, Matthew on the one pass rush caused an interception. So if we can get to the quarterbacks, that's going to be key.
All right. Your thoughts on the offense? Only 2 penalties, but 2 turnovers.
Well, one was a punt return. So I guess from the, it's our team, so I got to look at all that. But as far as offense is concerned, yeah, we focused on those, and we had the fumble, on the third play, a quarterback sneak, and that stuff that we talk about constantly. Ball security is one of our big things. Not making critical mistakes. We had a false start, and that led to a punt. And I think at the same time, if we don't have a false start, that's potentially a touchdown. So there's kind of a big takeaway or give and take on that. But we focus on that stuff. Just not beating ourselves. That's one of our team identifiers, team identity. We talk an awful lot about. So, the other turnover was a muff punt, at the end there, and kids trying to make a play, so we just have to learn from it. But
okay. Justin Turner ran hard. In fact, on 17-yard run, carried the entire Alter defense with him. Was that by design as he led with 20 carries?
Well, as far as him carrying the ball, that's our offense. I mean, it just depends. We are fairly, as you know from the past few years, fullback centered. Now I think we're a little more balanced this year, honestly. Drew Baker was a 3-year starter, had a rushing record the year before and ended up with a school record, after his senior year. But so, it's more committee, and I think Justin did a great job. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's only going to get better. It's funny, I was laughing because the 17-yard carry, there's a point in there, if you watch the film, where his feet are kind of dangling in the air, so it's like this mosh pit almost, and good job by Asa Dunleavy and Luke Cheatwood getting in there and moving the pile, and Alter kind of helped us a little bit on that too, but he ran hard all night, Justin did, and like I said, he's only going to get better. He's a tough kid, wrestler, so toughness kind of comes hand in hand with that stuff. So,
all right, 2 minutes to go. Turner had just run for the game-clinching first down. Looks like you were running out the clock. And then after one play, you ran onto the field. What was that about?
Got a little excited. Got a little ahead of myself. I thought I saw something that wasn't really there. Unfortunately, I didn't get flagged. That was one of those moments I'd like to have back. But, there was a pile, and I saw Justin being put on the ground a little harder than after the play. And looking back on it, it was innocent. I don't think they were doing anything. But at the moment, heat of the moment, I got the better of me, and I should have just stayed on that sideline. So not very good mental toughness on my part. It's one of our core values, and Coach Miller did not display that very well. But so that's all it was. And the referee, fortunately, he warned me. He said, "Look, if you do that again, I'm gonna flag you." I said, "Deserve it." But it was all good. All ends well, whatever the saying is. But we got another really good run from Justin. Line surge was great on that, and then Brock Baker on a counter, ends up getting the first down, and we, went into the victory formation. So,
okay, let's look now ahead at Trotwood. What are your thoughts on Trotwood as a team that had no rushing game against Winton Woods and having to face Tim Carpenter's passing attack?
Well, number one, it's Winton Woods, and if you look at what they have on defense, there's a reason why it's hard to get any yards against them. They are absolutely loaded. I mean, so we don't have those guys. They have D1 kids all over the place. We have a handful, but so that's a little deceiving. The Carpenter kid's really good. I mean, he's a 3-year starter, and he's getting D1 offers all over the place, and he has a core of receivers and a good offensive line, and they can run the ball. There's no question. That little scat back, he's good. So we have to do what we do. We've already talked about it. Our MO is control the clock. If we can do that and not turn it over, not beat ourselves, and just make them earn everything, we've got a shot. But they're really good. Looking at them on film, it's scary. So it just doesn't get any easier. Our schedule's just it's a bear. But you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. I say that, but it is because you have to come play every week. So.
Okay, and final question. How have you adjusted this week for the hottest week of the year?
Well, it's interesting. It's kind of been up and down. I mean, last night was pretty hot. Tonight's going to be fine. We have a nice breeze. It almost feels like we're sitting on the beach here. But so I think we're okay today. At some point we're going to get a 97-degree day. We'll modify. I mean, we're going to give them extra water breaks, and just if we have to take equipment off, we will. But our guys are in shape. That's one thing I can say is our summer, they do a very good job showing up, getting themselves ready to go. And so really the heat is not as big of a factor because of that, I think. But you just got to be smart about it. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, Norm.
I'm with Coach Jeff Graham, who is the head varsity football coach for the Trotwood-Madison Rams. Coach, just a few questions for you.
No problem. How you doing today? On a hot
day.
What is it? August the 21st.
Yes, and I have a hot day question here for you.
No problem.
What are your overall impressions about the defensive struggle against Winton Woods and coming up short at the end of a 21-7 score?
Well, on the offensive side, I just think our guys didn't understand the concept of what we were trying to get through to the Winton Woods. We didn't take advantage of some of our hot reads that the quarterback and the receiver. We made some terrible decisions on the offensive line as far as running the ball. Guys were doing kind of like their own concepts and things of that nature, like either pulling, and I could blame that on me because I'm going to take accountability on that. Not coaching them well, not getting them fully prepared to be able to play against a team like Winton Woods that they want to create havoc. So in order to create havoc, you got to counter that havoc with some plays that can counter blitzes and things of that nature. And I don't think we accomplished that this game, well, against Winton Woods.
All right, let's talk about the defense, especially the two top tacklers on the night, which were Henderson and Smith. What do they mean to the program?
Oh, that means a lot. We expect those guys. Henderson's a junior for us. We want him to come out and play. And then we got Mike Smith that we just feel that as a senior, he has to be a leader, show these young kids how to play the corner position. And he did a great job for us. And we also had a young freshman, Mr. Nash. I'm going to call him Mr. Nash and not by his first name because I was kind of impressed with what he did against Winton Woods. He really went out and worked, and he made some good plays for us.
Offensively, what can you do to get a run game going after gaining only 36 yards?
The biggest thing that we have to do is first prepare as far as who we have to block. Like I mentioned earlier, we had some guys that said that they heard certain calls, which I didn't, it's hard to be on the field to hear it. But when you watch film, and we watched the film over last night and watched it with the kids, we kind of got an understanding of we need to start echoing, communicating better. So if we echo and communicate better, then I think we can average at least 2 to 3 yards. And that's pretty much what I really want to do in the run game. And then especially if we can hit one big, okay, that's fine. But if not, if I can just get those downs where we're not stagnant, where it's like first down and 10 or second down and 10, and then you go back at second down and 15. So if we can stay away from negative plays, that will suit us well.
What is your evaluation of quarterback Tim Carpenter with one touchdown pass in the game?
My evaluation, like I told Tim, for grade-wise, I'm working with the quarterbacks a little bit. And for grade-wise, his performance, I think, was lackluster. I think it was about a D minus. I think some of the plays that he saw prior to he didn't recognize. And those are things that come with preparation. Like I try to tell our guys, watching film just with us and breaking down and doing it in practice, you have to spend just a little bit more time at home and understanding, because Winton Woods did the same blitz to you the last 3 years, right? And you wasn't prepared for that because you thought that maybe, things would change. And with your caliber and with our expectations of you as a quarterback, we expected a lot more from you to be able to lead this team and get us in great positions. And I understand you. You could say, well, Coach, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. I should put that pressure on you. You should want that pressure as the star athlete or as the key focal player for the offense. And like I told him, we're going to demand that even more from you this week because Fairmont is a great disciplined team. They're going to sit in their coverages. They're going to make you win the game by making throws, runs, and different things that we have to do to execute on offense.
What are your impressions of Fairmont trading Drew Baker for Brock Baker, and what are their similarities and differences?
Well, you know what? I just know he can make things happen, and that's the biggest thing. When you see a team and you could tell leaders on a team, he looks like a leader. He looks like he communicates well with this team, and they all buy into it. And that's what we're trying to get here is for our leaders to be able to come up, step up, and be vocal, not necessarily screaming, yeah, that kind of stuff, but show young kids how to participate, how to play, how the game's supposed to be, fun. We're not making it fun anymore, because when you lose, of course, everybody get down, and you don't accept losing. by having your accountability level to where you can take that negative criticism and then take it and don't wear it. You know what I mean? In 24 hours, it's gone. Let's come out here and play because we got another game this week.
All right. Finally, with the hottest week of the year, how does that adjust your practice schedule and potentially game preparation?
Kids have to hydrate. Right now, we're taking our main, our breaks during the time. We tell our kids to have gallons of water with them. After practice, we'll do ice tubs for the kids to be able to kind of cool off a little bit. But starting today, we have to hydrate with fluids, with water, Pedialyte, Gatorade, all week, going into the game because it's going to be a very hot week. It's going to be a very hot game on Friday. But and then you're wearing all that gear, so you're going to lose a lot of fluid. So you got to start now in order to prepare for Friday.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck on Friday.
Appreciate it. Would you be there? You going to come?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Well, I'll see you.
Okay.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care, baby.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.